Today, we are talking about your lymphatic system and the link to optimal health and well-being. And so I'm super keen for what we're going to learn in this episode, as today's guest is an incredible woman who I've worked with over several years. Amanda of Celestial Aromatics is a holistic wellness practitioner. She's a hypnotherapist. She's a master coach of NLP, and she's passionate and caring and on a mission to help people achieve their full potential through balanced wellness. Now, Amanda uses a holistic approach that combines together the healing power of massage, aromatherapy, bushflower essences, hypnotherapy, I should say, and NLP, and really helps guide her clients towards greater peace and happiness by not just working on their physical body, but also their mindset. And Amanda also encourages her people to incorporate essential oils into their lives. And she's got a range of things that she does there. And I absolutely love the way that Amanda brings all of this together. And so I'm really excited to welcome to the coaching circle, Amanda Collings-Wells.
Thanks, Toni, and thank you so much for having me today. I am really excited.
Yes, I'm super excited. Like I'm a big fan of yours, Amanda, and there are Celestial Aromatics products throughout my office and my home. I think they're just about in every room of my home, from my bedroom to the bathroom to, I don't know, everywhere. And so there's so much, and I've had, ear candling with you, I've had massage with you, like I've just shower things, all kinds of stuff, body products.
Yes.
So yeah. I'm a big fan. But we're going to get into a lot of the stuff that you do. But first of all, I'd love to just ask, because I know there's a lot of other coaches and wellbeing practitioners that listen to this podcast as well, or who want to start their own business. So what is it that led you to start your business, and why is what you do important to you?
So I spent the past 21 years working in the government sector. So I have dealt with stress. I've had sleepless nights. I've had that issue around balancing my family and work life. And I got to a point about 15 years ago when I lost my father-in-law that I didn't want to be there at retirement age. So I delved really deep to work out what I wanted to do. And the one thing that I absolutely knew I loved was helping people. So any job I had in the ATO that I helped people with, it fulfilled me. So I, along with that, had managed my own stress, sleep issues through the use of essential oils and having regular massage treatments. So that's the path I went down. I studied. And I got my diploma of clinical aromatherapy first. So that has allowed me to learn all about essential oils and how to incorporate them in your life, but also my massage techniques that I use. So in particular, lymphatic drainage and aromatherapy. And because both of those are really profound on being able to help calm our nervous system and take us from that fight or flight response into that rest and digest, where we need to be to experience that balance and calm in our life. So yeah, that was the start. And
I think that's so relevant, Amanda, because I know just about every coach, practitioner, therapist that I know, I mean, even from my own background, is that, these are the things that people have in common, is that they have some kind of challenges in themselves, where like they have some kind of stresses or childhood traumas or something that goes on in their life, some illness or something that they, that they really want to resolve for themselves. And then once you actually realize that you can resolve and life can be a different way, you're just like, oh my God, of course I have to be able to help other people to get this as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, last 10 to 12 years, I've done that study. I've expanded. I've done ear candling. I use bushflower essences. And then I had my journey to become a master coach in NLP and hypnotherapy. So, which was where the real breakthroughs came for me.
Yeah. There's so much I want to ask you about this. And before I forget, like, because you did mention aromatherapy as the first thing that you did.
Yes,
And you know, look, oils have been quite popular for a while. I guess they've been around for years and years and years, thousands of years, I
yes.
guess. I don't know the whole history of it. But it's been, you know, this kind of popular kind of thing. And like, you know, I know people who like have you know, oils just to make their house smell nice or to burn oils and things like that. But it's much deeper than that, isn't it? Like, what is it? What is it that oils actually do for you?
Yeah, so it's that power of scent. That the power of scent, so essential oils effectively work through our olfactory system. And that's connected to our limbic system. So that's the feel good. So when we smell something we really like, and for me, hot apple pie, when I smell hot apple pie, it brings great memories of turning up at my grandma's place, my nana's
Mm,
place, and knowing that you're going to sit down and have this warm pie and family time. And it's where we use scent like that and we're able to change that mood and shift that mood in us. And that's where I think the power of essential oils can come in, with people using them in their home and body products and showers, shower
mm.
steamers and things like that. And that's where I've had my passion to create some of my own products for people to use at home.
Well, that's almost like, as you said that, I'm like, that's kind of, that's anchoring. That's like, is anchoring using olfactory is,
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
yes, yes. Wow, I've never thought about aromatherapy like that before. Are there like particular, um, you know, like chemical components or whatever? I'm probably not using the right words this, but as part of aromatherapy that do some kind of chemical thing for you, or is it all just like, you know, around just things smell nice?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So every essential oil has a chemical constituents. So probably chemistry is not real big for me. However, I ensure that I have the knowledge around the chemical constituents that each oil is made up of, that I understand if there's going to be any contraindications when I'm working with my clients.
Mm,
So, which is important rather than delving right down and using all the chemical names for people. Where we'll be right over their head. So
oh
I
yeah,
like, yeah, yeah.
be right over my head.
Yeah, so they do. So different oils have different aspects to them. So we've got grounding oils, so earthy oils, um, things like sandalwood and vetiver are real grounding oils. So the chemical constituents to that are designed to help ground you. And then
Mm.
your citrus oils on the other side of it are really uplifting, although they can come in the middle, but that they're quite zesty and they promote a real uplifting effect.
Yes, I love the citrus oils, as you know.
Yeah, and then they also come from flowers. So you have like geranium and rose, and then they can come from leaves. So cypress, um, Siberian fir. They're all, let's say, pine type smells. They tend to come from leaves. So
Yes.
yeah, they come from all different aspects of plants, and the area of the plant they come from tends to link into the aspect that they'll help in our emotional well-being.
Oh, okay, that's really interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, wonderful. Good. Good. So I guess I mean, the main thing here, like you, I know you've got a main focus for what you really want to help people with, Amanda. Tell us a bit about that. Like, what is the main problems that you like helping people solve?
Yeah, so I work predominantly with women, in that around 35 to 55 um, working mothers, professional working mothers. They tend to be balancing full-time or close to full-time work with family life. So on the go busy, and they're wanting to find more balance and calm in their life. So they're possibly having sleep issues. They're feeling sluggish and heavy. It might be a cycle of feeling unwell. So feel really good and energized for a few weeks, and then in a cycle of going back to feeling really flat and struggling. So yeah, I'm here to and really passionate about helping empower them to make changes in their life to improve their health so they can live with more balance, calm, and
Mm.
feel empowered.
Yes. And so what is generally some of the causes for why people might be feeling this way?
Yeah, so can be when we haven't got balance in our life, and I have created a holistic wellness framework because
Yes.
I believe there's 7 elements that we need to have in balance to have holistic wellness.
Yeah.
And I link them into our chakras as well. So it's about we need balance in our spiritual, our mental, our social, our emotional, our career, our family, and our physical areas of
Yeah.
life. If any of those are slightly out of balance, then it can have a flow on effect to our wellness.
Yes. Yeah.
So if we're exercising a lot, so we're physically fit and strong, doesn't mean we're healthy, because if we're not getting enough sleep, or we're unhappy in our job, or with not sleeping well, it could affect our mental health. They all interconnect together.
Mm.
So if you're having consistent bad night's sleep, then it potentially is affecting how you're working and how you're going in your career, and how you react at work, but also to whether you actually feel like going out and being social with anyone. And if you shut yourself off from friends and family, then that has another flow-on effect to your physical well-being as well. So yes,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah,
And I think it's such an important thing, Amanda, because I know, like, for me, my experience is you can never just set and forget.
no,
Because it's like life just changes all the time, right? Like I know, like right at the moment, as I've shared with you, I've got house renovations about to start, so I've got no kitchen or lounge room. I'm about to running a 3-day training on the weekend that's going to be online, and my internet's now under, like, you know, doubt. And then next week I fly out to Thailand for 10 days, and my partner's FIFO, so he's been away, and then he'll be home Thursday night. So there's all this stuff that's going on that's outside of my control, essentially. And so, like, all my routines thrown out. Luckily I've got a lot of support and a lot of ways to kind of manage this stuff, but um that's life though, isn't it? People, life doesn't just stay constant all the time.
and that's right. And I think that's where mindset really comes to play in that, Tony. Um, if we sit in that mindset that woe is me, that effect, that it's always happening to me, and I can't do this, then that affects all of these elements as well. Whereas if we shift that mindset over to look, what can I do? What can I do to support myself? What changes can I make? And sometimes there's small changes that I have clients make in their life, and changes I've made in my life. All these small little changes I've made have started in the last 12 months of building up to make big changes in how I'm sleeping, my physical health. So, yeah, and I just very want to help people that I could, where I was to where I am now. I just want to be able to help people see the little steps they can do, that it's not a large amount, because there's nothing worse than a busy working professional mum and you go, this is what you need to do, and you've got to spend X amount of hours a week doing it to change. They'll just go,
Yeah.
nah, I'm just going to go back under that rock,
Ain't got time for
where I
that.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So bite-sized pieces. It might be
Yes.
starting with massage, and starting to do that, and then working and building on that from there.
Yeah, now this is really important, because these are some of the things that I've noticed. Apart from, like I said, I'm not the Celestial Aromatics #1 fan, and I've got a lot of the products. So when I've got all this stuff going on in my life, I know there's certain things that I do. So, for example, I don't have a kitchen, so like today I went out for lunch to have like a nice cooked lunch and a nice sit down. So I'm like, I feel like I've had a good meal for the day. And I'm still doing my walking every day. Like, that's really important. I still do walking, and I still make sure I have really good night's sleep. And there's these kinds of things. And like, if I feel like I'm getting too stressed, I'll go and book a massage or something like that. So can you explain, like, I know I do these things, but you're probably better explaining, what are why do these things work, and especially like when it comes to, lymphatic system, because this is something that I've been getting really interested in, tuning into all your content and what you've been talking about.
Yes. So I'll start with our lymphatic system. I think that will link into why massage can be really important.
Yeah.
So our lymphatic system is, let's think of it as super highway of our body. So it's what helps our system and moves all our garbage and our toxins and everything out. So imagine the system's the highways and the lymph is the garbage truck that comes around and takes all of our waste out of our body and moves it out. If it's not working at its optimum, then that debris and all of that gets stuck in our lymph nodes, gets stuck in our tissues. And that's when we start to feel things like maybe some achy joints or really heavy or sluggish. And if we don't address it when we start to feel like that, then it can go on and become bigger things potentially. So key thing is, and a lot of people don't know, is our lymphatic system doesn't have a pump, not like our heart that pumps the blood around. The way our lymph moves is through muscle movement. So you mentioned walking. Walking, stretching, yoga, Pilates, all of those are really great forms of exercise to help our lymph pump through our body.
Yeah.
But if we have high stress or lack of sleep, that can slow the lymphatic system down. So hence, the whole 7 elements need to be linked together to have optimal health.
Yeah.
So by including massage, or in particular lymphatic drainage massage, which actually targets the moving of the lymph for you through a very gentle massage treatment, by having this treatment on a regular basis, you're optimizing your body's health. So you're allowing it to have the lymph moved for you and to be able to optimize removing any of those toxins or anything that's going on. And so then you feel greater wellness, and it increases energy, and it can remove muscle soreness, which allows you to feel more energized to get out and exercise, which in turn
There's
helps.
a perpetuating kind of cycle.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is an absolute cycle. And look, we've got to throw into that, we need a good diet and we need lots of water, because our body is made up of a huge percentage of water. So one of the first things I always say when you've been in for any type of massage with me, you need to drink 2 or 3 good glasses of water when you leave, because otherwise you'll get a headache.
And what is that, just because the toxins and stuff are on the move and you need to flush them out? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So my lymphatic drainage massage I would describe as a bit feather-like, so really gentle, unlike, deep tissue. So you might not think I've done a lot of work by the time you float out of my treatment room, but I have. I've moved those toxins around. So if you don't put a lot of fluid in to flush them out, you will feel pretty crap for 24 hours.
Yeah. Wow. And is that like, so, if you feel like you're getting sick or whatever, and, you check if your glands are up, is that all lymphatic?
Absolutely. So our tonsils are part of our lymphatic system. When your body's fighting infection, you'll get lymph nodes. We've got lymph nodes through our whole body, but our main lymph nodes are under our arms and in our groin. They're the main area that our lymph nodes. But yes, if you've got a throat infection, you'll feel lumps and bumps in your throat. If you say had an infected cut on your leg, or there was an infection in your leg, and you weren't aware of it, you would be once it hit the lymph nodes in the groin area, because you would feel the lumps of the lymph nodes being swollen.
Wow.
Yes, yeah. And obviously with that, it's the way cancer moves through our body. So when someone does have a cancer diagnosis, they're getting it picked up early is before it moves into that lymphatic system to move around and move into anywhere else in their body.
Yeah, right. Wow. And so this is just fascinating, Amanda. Like, I love learning more and more about the body and all these kinds of things. And you share so much great content. So definitely go and check out Amanda's Celestial Aromatics on Instagram and Facebook, and I think even TikTok, because she shares loads of stuff that's really interesting in there. But so we've talked a lot about the physical, but then and I know you said all these things kind of come in together, but then it's like the mental as well. And how do we incorporate like the mind with this kind of work?
Yeah. So by because when our body's under stress, it triggers our fight or flight response. So it's great. We need that fight or flight response because we need to be able to react to any sign of threat. But the cycle that a lot of women get in, and it's certainly a cycle I was in, was that stress response. So I was almost constantly in a fight or flight response. So it would take the minutest thing, and some days I would have a meltdown. We need to be in the rest and digest more. So rest and digest is where the body can process our food, it can relax, it can sleep well, allow us to get good sleep cycles. So by having massage treatments, it helps to calm that nervous system. Both my lymphatic drainage massage and my aromatherapy massage are both targeted to help calm the nervous system down. So to put our body and calm that parasympathetic nervous system to that rest and digest and help calm it down, which is why when clients leave my treatment room, they will feel a bit like they're floating on a cloud. They may have come in feeling like everything was quite heavy on them. If they've come in after work, their mind's racing. My aim is that by the time they leave after that hour, they're feeling lighter, the weight's off their shoulders, and that they're actually floating out because I've calmed that nervous system down and allows them to be able to relax and be in the present moment.
Well, and I think the thing about that as well, man, and this is what I've noticed, is that like I spent a fair bit of time as a single mum as well when my daughter was younger. And, and I was kind of pretty fiercely independent and I do it all myself and, da, 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 da. And I think, it's easy to get into that space where you're always doing or you're always looking after somebody else. But the thing that I've noticed in, when I seek out sort of alternate help or massage or whatever like that, is just that ability just to go, yeah, like you said, just like take the weight off. But it's like you're not the one in charge. Like you can just relax and there's somebody there taking care of you. Like I think that is a massive thing as well. Because it's not like you're not just there for a massage. It's like literally somebody for an hour or whatever it is, somebody's there in charge taking care of you. So it's like there's nothing you know where you have to be, nothing you have to do, nothing you gotta look after, nothing you have to organize. Just someone else is there running the show for that time. And that's hugely an important way to help you switch off, I think, and just relax.
Yeah, absolutely. And that switching off is so good, important for that spiritual aspect of the elements that I look at. So, and absolutely, my room, the energy I aim to create in that room is that safe, peaceful sanctuary for a client. So when they walk through my door, right from the time when they walk through the main door, the whole aim of our business is that it's a safe, calm sanctuary for you to come in, basically put your stuff down. And once you're on the table for your massage, that's your time. And I'll say to my clients, it's your time. I won't talk unless you talk to me. So I have clients that their way to de-stress is to talk the whole 1 hour treatment. And I will answer. And I have other clients that go, fine, I'm here not to talk. Thank you. And that's it. I hear nothing from them until they, I have to tell them that it's over and say, it is time to just come back gently into the room and take your time. But which is the hardest part, even from a massage therapist, to go, we're finished. Because
that's me. I'm a non-talker. I'm
I'm
a non-talker. I'm just like, I just want to relax.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's a good chance because they can really just settle in and allow whatever's going on for them just to pass hopefully through their mind and not focus on it. I do encourage them to just let whatever thoughts are coming through their mind to just come and go, just to let it unwind. And as clients have repeated treatments with me, they actually say how much deeper they actually relax, because on your second and your third treatment, the body remembers that sense of touch. It remembers what it felt that first time. So when they come in the second time, the body's like, oh, I like this, and they relax a little bit more. So my reward is if a client might give a little bit of a snore, I might have a very big smile on my face going, yep, I've won.
That was more of a snort I just did then, but yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes they'll come and go, oh God, I think I snored. I went, yeah, I was smiling. No judgment here. I'm one happy therapist. So yeah.
That's really interesting, man, because that reminds me of hypnotherapy, that it's like, going into hypnosis, because all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, right? So it's that every time someone experiences hypnosis, they're able to go deeper into trance because their mind goes, oh, okay, I get it, and they go deeper and they feel safer and all those kinds of things. So it sounds like that's similar to massage.
Absolutely, very much. I can go deep into hypnosis as the same as I can go quite a period of time without a massage, but as soon as my body feels a massage treatment, it will relax and completely and utterly unwind. Yeah.
So it's kind of like you actually train your body to relax.
Yeah, it's a bit like if someone who can sit and meditate, if someone told me they'd sit and meditate and sat still for, say, 45 minutes, I'd laugh because there was no way I would sit still for 45 minutes if I was meditating. But if you told me to lay on a massage table for an hour and a half and have a massage, I'd be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a
like
good
a
way to,
learned behavior.
a learned behavior. Yeah. So yeah, it is.
Which is,
very much.
that's a really good point, man, because, for like years and years, I don't know when I started getting, and I still don't get as regular massages as what I probably could do with, but I didn't have massages for years, and the experiences of massages that I had were really uncomfortable. Especially, I think I must have tight calves. I think that's where I especially remember it, and people would be massaging, and it would be literally painful. Like I'd be squirming on the table, I'd be painful, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't know why people want to do this. Like it's not nice. But I've since found, like, especially seeing you, that's not that's not every type of massage.
No, it's not. So it'd be probably 30 years ago. I think it was Swedish massage I had, would have been one of my first ones. Very deep. I couldn't move for 3 or 4 days later. After the pain went, I did feel amazing, but vowed I would never have a massage treatment like that again. Hence, probably why I went down the path of learning about essential oils and learning about gentle, as I like to refer to it as gentle massage that can allow the mind and the muscles to unwind through the treatment rather than
because
dig
it's very
deep.
hard to relax when you're feeling excruciating pain.
Well, you tighten everything else up.
Yeah.
So if they're working in one spot to release it, and the next minute you're tightening up somewhere else because you can't put up the pain on the area they're working. So a bit counterproductive in my eyes. Yeah.
And Amanda, you do go though a bit deeper into the mindset side of things as well.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, tell us about that and how that ties in.
Yeah, so I've worked out through myself and the work that I've done with clients that stress can be triggered from much deep-seated emotions and traumas that we've had in past life. So I love my massage and people can come in and have it, but as I get to know my clients and we talk about cause and effect and how they react to situations that are happening.
Because do they generally come in because they're stressed out of their eyeballs? Is that usually what happens?
Yeah, literally. It's either family and work completely and utterly stressed out, or it's work that stresses them, and that's why they're coming in. So as they start to let me know what's happening in their life, I can start to identify, especially if they're sitting at effect, and start to talk to them about changing the mindset.
So when you say it effect, Amanda, sorry, just when you say it effect, you're kind of meaning like as if they feel like everything, like that they're the victim and everything's happening to them. Yeah. Like people were saying things to them, people doing things to them. It's like, and
it's everyone else's fault. This has happened because of A, B, and C.
Yeah.
When I move them over to see how if they take responsibility for what's going on, or accept that the reason it may have happened could be that it was a missed opportunity, or if they thought about it a different way. So we had internet problems when we started today, Toni, and I could have thrown my hands in the air and gone, this isn't going to happen. It's the internet, and blamed, the internet company. Instead, I went, right, home internet's not working. Let's go with my
mobile internet.
Yeah. And then I went, of course I can, because I've got this. And then anyway, even if I haven't got it, something's telling us this wasn't, the right time. And as you talk through with people and they see that little shift in mindset, that it's not being done to them, they start to feel a little bit more empowered in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I will work deeper with clients. So
that piece, sorry to interrupt you a minute, but that piece that you were saying there about being at cause or effect, it's such an important thing because, I think I spend so much of my time explaining this to people because it's so important. And, it's easy to go, oh, well, but that person did do this and that person did do that. And it's like, yes, you can be, there can be things that happen out of your control, but it's like how you respond to them is your responsibility. And even it could be your responsibility of how you, because we always say you teach people how to treat you, right? And people say, well, I'm trying to enforce my boundaries and things like that. Trying to enforce boundaries means you don't really understand what boundaries are, because boundaries mean that you make a boundary that someone can't cross. Like you remove yourself from the situation, you communicate, you do all those kinds of things. So I think that is such an important shift to have, because until people get that, they will just keep being in the same situation, wondering why things don't change, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they get in a cycle.
Yes.
And I think that's why sometimes people change jobs so often, because they'll be in a cycle going, oh, this job's not for me because I'm not getting anywhere and I was passed up on a promotion and this. Oh, so it's everyone else's fault and so then they go somewhere else and the same thing happens again.
Yeah.
Instead of, looking deep inside and having a look and reflecting on themselves of, was there something that they could have done different, or were they passed up on a promotion because the person that got it was actually did have the skills?
Yeah. Or even they've got some of their own limiting beliefs around what's possible for them, or fears about will they actually be able to perform that okay, or there's all kinds of things, isn't it, that go on in the mind. And this is why I love that you also bring in the NLP coaching and things and helping people to let go of those old negative emotions and limiting beliefs and everything that they filter their world through, right? Because there's so much stress that's created, not by what's going on outside, but what's going on inside.
Yeah, and I can testify that for myself. And that's something I can attest to. I realize now, after all the work that I've done on myself, that some of what's gone on for me was up in here. It was that voice that told me that I couldn't do it, that told me I was not good enough. if I'd found this earlier, would I be where I am now? Possibly not, but I've learned everything I've learned to be able to help other people through my journey. But I can't believe how much our little voices in our head and our past things that, you know, happen when we were younger or whatever, can really get in and have such a huge impact on our here and now and our future. Which is why helping women. I'm just so passionate to help women be able to lead the life they want. And if that's change their career and be a working mum and be a CEO of a company, and I can help them change their mindset, then my life will be complete. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I love that, Amanda. I love that. And I know that that's kind of that voice that you were talking about. Like, that's the thing that often why people think they're so busy, right? Because they're like, oh my God, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. When all they're actually doing is driving the car. But it's all the stuff that they're thinking about that makes them feel so busy. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I worked with a client that I think in the first half hour of my first session with her, I heard, I don't have the time, I don't know, 50 times. And by 2 weeks later and some work, she was making changes and I didn't hear, I don't have the time. I heard, well, I changed this and now I've got the time to do this. So it was all they're doing. It was all them working through what was causing that cycle for them, and then that shift in that mindset to them making small changes to clearing up and allowing themselves blocks of time to do things for themselves.
Yeah.
So
and that's it. That's the thing, isn't it? It's like if you think you don't have time to change, well, then change isn't important enough for you, because you can't keep doing the same stuff and expect you're going to get different results. And if the stuff that you think you have to do is making you stressed out and hating life, then is it really worth it? You know, like, that's the thing, isn't it? It's yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
good. So if you were to give, like, your, you know, I'm putting you a bit on the spot here, Amanda. I don't know if but I'm kind of thinking for everything that we spoke about, would you have like a top 5 or like a few easy tips that people could start incorporating in their life straight away, or even things that you've helped other people with? Because I know there's a lot, you know, ultimately, if people want to completely change how they feel and think and all that stuff, book in and go and see Amanda and she can give you the works. But if there were just like little things that, you know, you were sort of saying about, you know, people saying that they don't have time, you don't necessarily have to have hours and hours and hours in the day free to make these changes. So what are some little things that people can do?
Yeah. So one of the first things I'd say, if you're someone who says I haven't got a lot of time, would be blocking out. So working out what's important to you. So and then blocking it out. And
so what are the things you absolutely have to do?
Yeah.
And how do you know when you've done them? Yeah,
exactly. And block it out. So if you want to go for a walk because you find walking relaxes you in that, then find your ideal time and block it out and make it happen. And it might only be 3 days a week, because, you know, we like to do it 5 days or 7 days. But if you're a working mum with kids, it's not, but block it out. So I think instead of I don't have time for that, go, this is my not negotiable, and I will make
time.
So
because I think that's the thing sometimes, though, isn't it? People going, oh, I don't have time. It's like, well, can you get up earlier in the morning? No, I'm too tired. Why? Well, because I don't go to bed till late. Well, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know, watching TV, scrolling, doing stuff. Because I've got to wind down. It's like, well, those things aren't actually helping you wind down.
That perfect leads into the other thing I would actually suggest, and would be my top thing, is, and it links back into the lymphatic system, is create a winding down routine, a bit of a pattern or something. But mate, incorporate some deep breathing. Place your hands on the bottom of your diaphragm and 5 to 6 deep breaths. actually helps pump the main vessel with your lymphatic system. So if you can incorporate that 5 or 6 times during the day. So if you're feeling stressed at work, go and find somewhere or sit in your desk and put your hands here, close your eyes for 2 minutes, 5 or 6 deep breaths, and it will have such a huge impact on the nervous system, and also on the lymphatic system. But if you do it just before bed, fantastic time, and then you're setting yourself up. So off of the electronics,
Yes.
taking 10 minutes before time to go to sleep, and then maybe even have a journal, because I found when I started doing that my mind would then start to race, because it was like I had cleared it, and then everything that I hadn't done for the day or needed to do would come to mind. So then I would jot that down. Yep. And do that brain dump.
Yeah.
What else? Find something that really just makes your heart sing and makes you feel good, and shift that energy. So when we get in that spiral, oh my God, what am I going to do? We need to move out of that. So find something to do and move yourself from that. If it's in a work situation, take yourself out the office and go for a brisk walk around the block if you can. If it's at home and the kids are annoying the hell out of you, maybe go and close the door. Or put some loud music on and just change the whole energy for everyone in the house, and put some good music that you can dance and sing to, because that also helps our nervous system. That helps the vagus nerve, and that helps shift the energy. And they would be some really quick things. And then incorporate something like massage, or going and doing Pilates class, or doing a yoga class, and make that time. So I always talk to my clients about, I believe, especially women, we know our bodies best. We know what we need, and we need to listen to it. And so make massage regular. And that's very different for everyone. Some people can find the time and want to come and have a massage. I have a client that comes every week and absolutely loves it. But I have other clients that come about every 4 to 6 weeks, because that works for them in their life. And it's not adding stress to them trying to get there. And they've just made that commitment for themselves. So they would be my tips.
Yeah, that's so good, Amanda. And I think, we could keep talking about this for a long time, because there's so much to it. But I think, there's lots of elements there, whether it's having the oils at home. I've even got oils in my car, just those things help you feel better. Like you said, going for walks, breathing, drinking water, having nice wind down, going for massage, doing those little things to look after yourself. And then, working up to even going, into that deeper work, the deeper mindset work, all those kinds of things. Like when you really commit to doing all that stuff for yourself, it is just life changing. And Amanda, I know, like I said, I've known you for several years, and you are such a warm, caring, supportive person. And I always have a smile on my face when I think about you, when I talk to you. And I've been in your clinics, several times, and many times, and it's always so inviting. It is such a safe space, like you said. So thank you so much. But before we do get going, I want to ask you, because quickly, just about the business side of things, because starting a business, and I know, like I said, a lot of other practitioners and things listen to this, but starting a business can be really challenging. And what have you found has been, but luckily there are people who face these challenges, because otherwise we wouldn't have services like what you provide to go to. So what is some of the most challenging things that you've experienced in business?
My first challenge was probably letting go of that secure income, knowing that a lot of women transition from working for someone else into their own business. That was probably the hardest part, was just letting go of that security. But once I'd made that decision, I felt so much lighter and so much more empowered.
Yes.
So, and with that, having a good coach, because a coach will help you to get out of the negative headspace and help guide you on what you need to do with your business.
Yeah.
Because that's the most important place that we need to be sitting in. We need to be seeing our goals. We need to be thinking about them. It needs to be, and it's taken me a while to get into that and be more there and to be able to shift, because we know we're not going to be perfect. But if I start to go on that negative side, I need to be on that positive and see and build, and building connections, building quality connections with people, and learning to talk about what I do.
Yes.
Has probably been one of the biggest growths, and be there and telling everyone. And it's okay if someone doesn't like what I do, because that's all right, because I know what I do is good.
Yes.
But it might not be for them.
We're all not for everybody, right?
No, that's right. So, and I think I came from very much a space where I felt I needed approval at times, and people would say, hey, that's really good and I like it. So in business, you can't be like that. So you do need to be thick-skinned, but believe in yourself, believe in what you've got, and that you will find, and keep working at it.
Yeah. I love that, Amanda. I think every good coach has a good coach. And certainly, you know, from all the people who I coach, I've got people who coach me as well. And, you know, that's the thing with business, is it does take a different neurology. Like, that is the thing. We have to build out this neurology. That's what I'm really passionate about helping people with, because like you said, there's so many different elements of business than there is in a job. And like, you know, like I said, I'm moving away from that like that safety. And when you develop the neurology for business, you realize that the safety in a job is only a perspective, like, or a perception. It's not actually safety. Like, your company could shut down at any time, right? I mean, the ATO is not likely to shut down. I think they're a pretty successful company in Australia. But you know, departments could change, things could change, everything else. Right? Your job's not like certain, but when you develop that neurology for business and you know how to make money, you can change directions, you can change products, you can change offers, you can do all kinds of things. You're so much more in control. And that's where, like, now I think to myself, like, I would hate to be in a position where I relied on a job, because to me it feels so unstable. It's like, how, like, I'm not in control of what happens in a job, you know, like, it's a big shift. Well done for you, Amanda. It's a big shift. Yeah, you've done well.
Thanks.
And finally, I would love to know, what do you do for fun, Amanda? Because I always ask this question, because, you know, like, sometimes having our own business can become all consuming, and we have to take in our own advice with at least 7 elements and finding things outside of our work and everything like that. So what is that you do for fun?
Yeah, so for fun for me is I love finding time to get out and walk. I have found injuries don't allow me to play sports, so getting out into nature and walking, and I just find that connection helps calm me. The one thing I have learned is I need to be able to find more balance and to quieten my mind. I'm a on the go person, so walking allows me to do that.
Yeah.
But I also love gardening.
Yes.
I grew up growing orchids with my dad. So flowers, having plants, getting out. I do talk to my plants, and yeah, so I'm not necessarily a gardener that likes to get and dig in the garden, but I certainly like having plants and flowers and going around and talking to them and to get them to grow. And
I'm
yeah,
glad you said that, Amanda, because you know what? There was a time I used to like getting my fingers dirty, but not so much these days. But I do love my garden. Like, I was just sitting out there today, and I've always got pot plants. You can see there's pot plants around me in my office. But yeah, they bring a lot of joy. But I was going to say, orchids, I'm glad you reminded me of that. I've got an orchid at home, inside. I might have to hit you up about later, see if you can give me any pointers.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then I like knitting, because knitting means I have to concentrate on one thing, especially if I'm doing a pattern, which means I can't think about anything else.
Yeah, it's like a meditative state, right? Like that you're
Yep.
just sitting there focusing on that one thing. That's great.
Yep. Yeah.
Love
So
it.
they're my main things for fun.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for coming on the coaching circle. Now I know you've got some free downloads, so I think they're going to be in the show notes, but there's about 3 of them, wasn't there? What are your downloads that you've got?
So I have a lymphatic information sheet on lymphatic drainage.
Yes.
I have a deep relaxation hypnosis.
Yes.
And I have my winter wellness essential oils. And as we're moving towards spring, there will be a new download in coming weeks, because I will be putting a spring wellness essential oils list together as well.
You know what? You just made my day. This is the first conversation I've had about winter ending this year. I'm so exciting. But I'll put the links to those. So if you want a deep hypnosis, you want to know about winter oils, what was the other one?
The other one's drainage, yeah.
Around lymphatic drainage, go to the show notes. There'll be all the links there and you can download those things. So Amanda, thank you so much. You've been an amazing guest, full of information. I always love talking about all this stuff. I think there's so much in there. And if you're listening and you just take on at least one of these things that you've heard today, like, it will make a difference. You know, we can always just be making that 10% better each day. So fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Toni.